Okay, so this live is about my book that's officially published. And man, words can't even describe how I feel right now, you know? I wrote this book when I was 28 years old. Forget my ring light if it's. I wrote this book when I was 28 years old. And if you guys been following me and know and been watching my videos and stuff like that, you know, um, I was a traumatized girl growing up, traumatized, you know, from things happening to me. And in 2009, I rededicated myself to Yah, and I gave my life to Him, and my life has changed for the better. You know, a lot of roller coaster rides within this walk, and yeah. So when I gave my life to Yah in '09, that same year is the year that I wrote the book, and the inspiration behind the book was my mom. You know, because at the time I was married to my son's father, and I was writing stuff down and doing little things, and I was reading it to my mom, and my mom was like, "Wait a minute, you should write a book. You know, that should be a book." And I was just like, "Really?" And I never was really like a writer at the time. Um, that gift came later on. My brother was always a writer since he was a kid. He was an excellent writer, and I never really thought to write or was into writing. That never was my thing. In fact, I hate writing. To be honest with you, I don't even like to write. But Yah has given me a gift, you know, and so when I wrote this book in one day. As you see, it's not that thick. You know, if it was like a little bit shorter, it's not that thick. So it's a journal. Basically, this is what it is, and you open it up, and you probably can't see because this ring light I got. Journal, uh, my name here, and the publishing company I went through. So basically, um, there's a verse here, a beginning verse, the table of contents, as you guys can see, so different things and stuff like that. The introduction. So it's a different type of journal, you know. Usually journals are blank, you could just write in it, but it tells my story within the journal. It's like it's a synopsis though, So it starts off with the introduction about me, about my story, and then, you know, here's if a person is suffering from unforgiveness, you know what I'm saying? Here's the verse. Let me see. I gotta remember what's the verse right here, and it's a blank right there. You put the person's name, whether it's yourself or whoever. You put your name there, and it's a verse. It's a prayer, But it's a verse. Whatever verse in the Bible that's talk about unforgiveness, that's the verse that I use, and that's the prayer, you know. And then you could write on this side you could write your notes or whatever, how you feeling, whatever you're going through, you could write your notes on there. So it's like that, and that's like that throughout the whole book, If you're lukewarm, you have a lukewarm walk with Yah, that's the verse on that side, and then the notes on the other side. So that's the makeup of the book, you know. And then the back of the book, I had my mom. Okay, so the back of the book, this is the verse. Wait, the verse for the back of the book, and then the closing remarks is my mom. I had my mom write the closing remarks because it's about me and her. It's about me, but then it's also about her. And then this is the back of the book. I hope you guys can see it. This ring light make so shiny, but this is the back of the book. And so I'm excited, man. Like when I wrote the book at 28, um, I thought I was going to get it published that year, and at the time it cost, the expenses was kind of high, and I really didn't have no money like that, so I wasn't able to publish it. And it was all by design, because at the time when I wrote the book, I wouldn't have been I would have been the biggest hypocrite walking. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm my book is talking about deliverance and all that stuff, but yet I'm still out here doing doing y'all knows what. You know what I'm saying? I was, one foot in, one foot out. As you guys seen in my in one of my videos, I talked about how I was that. I had one foot in the world and one foot out, and um I was still suffering from trauma. Even after I gave myself to Yah, it was like a slow and steady process of him cleaning me out from my trauma, and just to piggyback, because one of my videos I think got deleted off. I think it was my very first video that I did talking about how trauma affected my life, you know, affecting my quality of life and how it can affect yours. And I started off talking about, so I'm gonna run down a little synopsis of, what I went through. So, when I was younger in Texas, um, I was SA'd, kind of figure it out, by a babysitter's husband. He did that to me when I was a little girl. I was about 3, and when I moved to California, I became, over time. No, I was sexualized at a young age. So I was already thinking sexual from a toddler. Imagine looking at your 3-year old or 4-year old thinking sexual. You don't know what the baby's thinking, but imagine a little 3-year old walking around, your little 4-year old walking around, and they're thinking sexual thoughts. That was me at a young age, due to what happened to me when I was, my babysitter husband doing that. She had left us. She had left us with her husband instead of taking us with her, whatever. So then moved to California. You know, uh, my dad, and on top of that, my dad was never there. He abandoned us. My mom was married to him, and he just walked out on his family. Just left us, and my mom had to take care of us by herself. So we moved to California. So I'm dealing with the thoughts of, the sexual thoughts at a young age. I'm dealing with that. Then I moved to California, start school. I'm getting bullied by the kids at school. They're calling me ugly, and no, none of the boys wanted to talk to me. I was real quiet and to myself, and I didn't want to. I just wasn't like the other kids. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't. My mom wasn't cursing me out and calling me out of my name, and none of that. My mom took care of home. She made sure her home was our safe place, and she just took care of us. So that's what I was used to. So I didn't listen to rap music, none of that stuff. I grew up in church, so all I knew was gospel music and stuff like that. So I didn't, yeah, so I wasn't like the other kids. So when I went to school and I'm with these other kids, they're making fun of me. They're calling me ugly, and so not only am I dealing with the essay from the babysitter, now I'm dealing with getting bullied at school because they think I'm ugly, and I'm a little square nerd. You know what I mean? So, and it just happened all through our life. And then me and my mom had bumped heads because at the time she was fighting her demons, and she didn't know how to deal with her demons at the time, and she had said something to me when I was a little girl, and I vowed to myself that I would never ever talk to her. So as a result of that, I bottled everything, all the trauma, whatever else I went through in life. I never told her anything, and I bottled it in. And as a result of me bottling it in, I started to run away, and started just acting out. And she didn't understand why I was acting out, why I was doing things that I was doing, but I was doing it, and she just didn't understand. It's because something that she said that kind of hurted my feelings. So, as time grew along, I was going to all these different schools, and again, I'm getting bullied, attacked, teased. I wasn't the kind of person that stood up for myself. I let people just kind of do to me whatever they wanted to do, say to me whatever. I was never like a argumentative person at the time when I was young. I didn't argue with people. I didn't fight. I just really was in my own little lane, and I let the kids at my school, at all the schools, uh, basically just tarnish my self esteem. You know, so not only am I not only am I thinking sexual, and my dad is not a part of my life, and I'm getting bullied at school, and I'm enduring all this hurt and pain about me thinking that I'm ugly and I'm not worth anything. All that stuff is just building up, and I'm not telling my mom, so it's just I'm holding it in, and it's building up over time, just building, 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 and and then like I said, like I mentioned before, in junior high school, I got like a little break because I went to a private school, so and it was really small private school, and all the kids, we all knew everybody. A lot of the kids' parents worked there and stuff like that, so it was real close knit. So I didn't have a problem in junior high school. Junior high school was pretty cool for me. So I got a break from being teased and all that stuff. Go to high school. I'm right back to getting bullied and getting teased and all this stuff, and it's tearing me down. It's tearing me down, and I don't know how to take it. I don't know how to take it. I don't know how to process this information, and it's like people say like, oh, well, if people keep telling you something, it must be true, and that's all. And so I thought I believe in the lies of Satan. Now, mind you, when I was really young, like about 8 years old, I had a dream that I was gonna be telling people about Yah, and people was gonna get saved. I was really young then, because at the time I was really into my reading the Bible and doing that, going to church. I was really into that stuff, and over time, when I got to high school, all that stuff, I'm just got trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma. I'm not telling anybody about the trauma. I'm just kind of dealing it with myself and believing the lies of Satan. You know what I'm saying? Satan started telling me all these lies, and I'm believing it. And then, after a while, me and my mom was bumping heads because, again, she's fighting her demons. I don't know how to handle it because I'm fighting my demons too. And it was like I felt like at the time that she was putting her demons onto me. So it was a lot. I couldn't take it. And again, I'm not telling her because she doesn't know what's going on because I'm not telling her. So then when I got into high school and all that stuff, about 16 years old, I started running away. Running away. I started stripping and stuff like that at a very young age. And again, me being in those not so good environments, um, I was SA'd. If you guys know what that means, please know what it means. I was violated by men multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Multiple times, more than two hands. And so as a result of that, my self esteem just just came on just was under the gutter. It was so low. I didn't have no self-worth. I couldn't just see my value. And not only that, I didn't have my dad to tell me my worth. So it was it was very hard for me. And it took many years, and I started using all these drugs. I was smoking weed, I was popping pills, mushrooms. What else was I doing? PCP. I was doing all those stuff to try to numb the way that I felt. And not only that, with the drugs in my system, I felt like I was more outgoing. I was more bold because I wasn't bold then. I was kind of like scary in a sense that I was scared to speak up and say stuff. And so I would just bottle stuff in. So when I had those drugs in my system, I was able to, without a care in the world, I would say stuff and, you know, didn't think twice about it. Because that, how people say you get liquid courage when you drink. That was me when it came to drugs. I had high courage. And so I used to love to get high because I felt like um, I was able to be the person that I wish I was, because I would try to be like other people. I would, since I hated myself so much, I would try to embody other people's personalities. The people that was popular or whatever, or that was cool, I tried to be like them. And I ended up eventually losing myself as a whole, period. I didn't even know who I was, because I remember one time I was inside of a where's I at? I was inside of a fast food restaurant trying to get a job there. And this guy was talking to me, whatever, and he asked me, oh yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself. I couldn't even answer the question because I didn't even know. I couldn't answer it. And my mom used to tell me all the time that I needed to do soul searching. I needed to find out who I was. I didn't even know how to do that. And not only that, I was scared to do it because I didn't want to uncover all those demons that I was fighting, you know? And at the time, I didn't understand that I was experiencing trauma. I knew that I was hurting. I knew I was hurting and stuff happened to me, but I didn't know it was trauma, if that makes sense. You know? And so what I would just do is just sweep things under the rug. That's all I ever did was sweep things under the rug. I never dealt with stuff head on. I just kind of like, okay, forget about it, act like you don't care. And that was my way of coping. I had a bad attitude at the time, a very, 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 very bad attitude. You know, my attitude was terrible. And I didn't care about nothing. You know, I had a death wish. My mom used to always tell me, oh, you got a death wish on you and all that stuff. She would say that to me, and I was just like, I just didn't care. And I really did not care. You know, I cared, but I did not care, you know? And I would put myself in situations to die. I never had the guts to kill myself, you know, basically like, you know, how people can slit their wrist or hang themselves or overdose on pills. I didn't have the courage to do none of that. So what I would do was, and this is just as bad, put myself in dangerous situations to die, you know? And I I praise y'all that I didn't die because it was a time that the Grim Reaper was killing girls up and down Western, and I knew a girl that got killed, and you know I could have easily been one of those girls because I was always on Western because all the little underground little strip clubs was on Western. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I couldn't have been caught up because one of the girls I knew of was killed by him. And it was really sad because y'all really spared my life, man. Like I watch now that I'm older and stuff like that. I've watched a lot of 48 hours and all these little investigative shows, these crime shows or whatever, crime documentaries and all that stuff. I see all of that, and I just it just make me want to praise y'all even more because it very much so could have been me. I should have been a statistic. My mom should have been on the news with my picture, crying, talking about where's my daughter? Please, Tony, come home. That should have been her because I put myself in situations to where I'm not proud of. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I want to encourage people to heal from trauma, heal from it, because if you don't heal from it, man, it's gonna mess you up. And I know a lot of people that's in my family, certain people in my family that they're traumatized, and the way that hold on one second, this is my front door. Hello.
Hi, just testing the intercom.
Oh, okay.
We're still waiting a week for a part to open for opening the door.
Okay.
The electronic part is working now.
Okay, great. Thank
Open
you.
the door by pressing 9.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks.
Bye. Sorry, y'all. That was kind of rude. But anyway, yeah. So I had all this trauma. I was saying my family member. She suffered from trauma, and she's a total nutcase. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say which part of the family she is, but she's a total nutcase. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't been healed from her trauma. She got mental issues and stuff like that. And it's sad, and trauma really affects people in all type of ways. And it affected me. It affected my self-esteem. It affected the way that I view myself. So because I thought I was so ugly, because I was told this all the time in school though. But when I got out of high school, it was funny because when I got out of high school, the same boys that was teasing me and calling me ugly was trying to talk to me. So I used to be confused, like, well, wait a minute. They was calling me ugly in school and all this stuff, and they trying to get at me? Like, that's weird. You know what I mean? So I just didn't understand, like, that mindset. But anyway, so, but in the end, I still thought I was ugly. So as a result of that, I would dress very, 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 very. You guys don't understand when I say very, 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 very provocative. Yeah, Girl, Germany, it's a lot that you, girl. I was going through a lot, but I was dressed very, very provocative when I was a young adult. 18, 9, I looked like a prostitute, to be honest with you, and would get mad when pimps would try to talk to me, and they constantly try to talk to me because I look like a hoe walking down the street with little to nothing on. If the clothes was long sleeve pants and all, I didn't want to wear none of that stuff because I in order for me, I felt like in order for a man to look at me, I had to show skin because I wasn't pretty enough in the face to attract a guy. That's the lie that Satan told me, and I believed it, and I actually did that, you know. And at the time, because of that, my reputation was so bad. I had a bad reputation, and I just didn't care, you know. I would hang out. I was hanging out with gang members at the time, knowing darn well I'm not about that life. You know, I ain't about to. I'm not about, you know, none of that stuff. But I'm trying to fit in and trying to, you know, cover up the hurt and the pain that I'm dealing with. You know, so I'm acting out and experience all these things that I'm going through. And yeah, so as after a while, I just got tired of running into circles. You know, because again, when I was young, I had a relationship with Yah. You know, and in 2009, like I felt my no. What this is the turning point that happened to me. My great grandmother had passed away. I was living in a motel, and I was a party animal. I'm talking about you would see me at the club all the time. I lived in the club. The club was my second home. Okay, I was always in the nightlife, in the scene, and all that stuff. You know, and when I used to be getting dressed to go to the club, I'll pop me an ecstasy pill, and I'll be smoking my weed and stuff like smoking my blunt, whatever. And I started praying. So I started praying to Yah and telling him like, Yah, you know what? I know. I started telling him what I like doing. I said I like smoking weed. I like popping pills. I like doing all this stuff that I'm doing. You know, I like it, but I know I don't want to go to hell. So that was my prayer. I used to be high as a kite. You hear me? High as a kite, but I meant that prayer, you know? And eventually, it wasn't even long. He started changing my desires, slowing me down. I started slowing down. And then, even 2009, New Year's Day, I woke up that morning and I was like, okay, this is it. I'm cool, you know? Because I was tired of feeling the way that I was feeling about myself, about life, about everything. I was broken, you know? So that's a little, you know, synopsis of of it. And so yeah, so that year I wrote this book. I wrote my book. Germany, I got my book. My first this is my first book. That's it's the ring light, but my book that I wrote. And I wrote this, I was 28 years old. I'm 42 and I've been delivered from trauma, okay? Some Thank you. I've been delivered from trauma. You know, I'm not the mindset that I used to have. I don't have it anymore. I see myself as a great young lady. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say I'm the finest woman in the world, nothing like that. But I don't. The self esteem issues that I had, they are gone. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm free from all of that. You know, and I know my self worth, and I have self love, and I didn't have none of that. So as a result of that, when I was, you know, when I lacked self love and self worth, I would pick all these bad dudes, all these toxic men. You know, I talk about in my book how my ex boyfriend tried to kill me. You know, it's a real short. I don't even think I tell a story about that, but I just say what you know he tried to do that to me, and just picking up all these bad dudes and just desperate for love. I was desperate for love and looking for love in the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? Like I was broken, man. I was broken, and you know, and the thing about it was I've always had, even in my brokenness, I've always had a heart for people. Always had a heart for people. Always, you know what I'm saying? Always had a heart for people. And so I will always put other people before me, before my needs and my traumatic state. Now, mind you, I'm messing with these toxic dudes. So me not loving myself and me putting them before myself, they would use that against me. You know what I'm saying? And they knew I was broken. Because God, men know when women have low self esteem. They know it. You know what I'm saying? It's not. That's something that they know. And they knew that I had it, and they would use it against me. You know what I'm saying? They knew I would put my all into them, and be dismissive of my own self. And thank you. And yeah, so it was just it was bad. I experienced a lot of trauma, and I praise Jah at the age that I am now, 42 years old. I'm totally delivered and set free from trauma, all the negative thoughts, all the pain, all the hurt, everything that I experienced within myself. I'm delivered. And I wrote the book, Raphael, my book. I don't know if you see it on my page, but I wrote this book when I was 28. I'm 42 now, and it's like it's been a long journey, and it was times that I just wanted to give up, even within giving my life to Yah, to in between now and then 2009. It was times I wanted to give up. I was disappointed in myself for always falling and negative and going backwards and still getting caught up with the wrong man. I still was doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing even after I gave my life to Yah. You know, I just kept doing the same old stuff, and the reason why I kept doing the same old stuff is because I was not healed, and I never knew why. I wouldn't understand why. Like I was so very, 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 very sexual. You wouldn't even believe it. I would say stuff, and I said this in one of my videos. I would have a conversation with a guy. We could be talking about the sky is blue, okay? The sky is blue and how pretty the blue sky is and all of this stuff. Me, the woman, he's talking about we talk about the blue sky. I will find a way to sexualize that whole conversation. That's how overtly sexual I was. Okay? I had it bad. And when I became a follower of Yah, at the time I was calling myself a Christian, but I don't subscribe to that anymore. I'm a follower of Yah. But after I would do stuff like that, I would give on myself and start praying like, yeah, why do I do this? Like, why do I talk like this? Because it was like me getting up and brushing my teeth. That's how sexualized I was. You know what I'm saying? It was very, very bad. Thank you, Raphael. It was very, very bad how I was. And you would thought that I was like a man, the way I thought of. It was just my thoughts was consumed. I just thought sexually 24/7. Like all because and since I was 3 years old, I was thinking like that because of what the babysitter did to me. You know what I'm saying? So I just dealt with that, and I just didn't understand why. A lot of things that I did not understand why. And I would pray. I would pray to Yah like, Yah, why do I do this kind of stuff? And something happened at my job. I still work there. That's why I haven't told the story of what happened. I still work there, so I don't know if I can say it or not. So I'm not gonna even go there. But something happened to where it traumatized me. It was basically my past had resurfaced, and I wouldn't even say that it resurfaced like that because people knew of my past. Whatever. But it resurfaced in a way to where it affected me very, very bad. At this point, I my I said again, I said I would sweep my trauma under the rug. That's what I would do. Things that bother me, I'm gonna throw it back there, sweep it under the rug, keep it pushing. You'll be fine. But I swept so much stuff under the rug. Oh, I'm not gonna even talk. I'm not gonna even say what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't got my. I got you, Raphael. I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna say it. That's why I just. But I'm just gonna say this. Uh, I was so used to sweeping things under the rug that the rug got this high. You know how a rug is flat on the ground. You step on your rug, it's flat to the ground. It's just like the carpet, right? The rug was right here at the point that the thing happened. The rug was this high. So now I have to deal with it, you know? And it's like I'm running from this trauma because I don't want to deal with it. But this thing happened to where now I got to face it. So what do I do? Do I want to give up on life and just not face it? Or do I face it and be a better person, you know? And it was a struggle, you know? I mentally kind of collapsed one day. And my mom, she came and got me and she, helped me. I stayed the night with her. She made sure I was good, whatever. And then I started getting therapy. I got therapy. And I took the time to invest in a proper therapist for me. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, therapy ain't good. Oh, you should black people. We talking about our folks, you know. Oh, black people. I mean, therapy. All they want to do is just get in your business and they say what was the thing they used to say? Oh, um, they ask you what should you do. They don't tell you what you should do, and that's a lie. Well, maybe some of them do, but if you do the your own research, you have to freaking find the therapist that fits your personality. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did for me. I took the time to really read through all the therapists until I found one that really, really helped me. That man helped me. It was a man therapist, and he would. I remember one day he told me, because I told him how I felt about myself. I told him, I said, "Hey, I think I'm ugly and stuff like that." And then he told me, he was like, "What?" He said, "You remind me of an anorexic girl. She thinks she's fat, but she's nothing but bones." And it hit me like, huh? He was like, "Man, you're not ugly." Like he really just, talked to me, whatever. But he really helped me out. And eventually I got to, y'all used him to help me be delivered from the low self esteem. You know what I'm saying? And I was thankful for whatever, for the thing that happened, at my job. Like I said, I'm not gonna speak on it, but I'm thankful for what that it happened, because literally it was a blessing in disguise. It was a blessing in disguise because Yah delivered me, and he brought to me why I would behave in ways I didn't understand why I was, because I'm like, okay, I'm a follower of Yah, but yet I'm still engaging in things I shouldn't be engaging in. I don't understand why I'm doing this and why I have these desires and all that stuff. And once I went to therapy, Yah revealed it all to me. It was like, the reason why you're so overtly sexual is because of what happened to you when you was 3 years old. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like, and you was never healed from that. And then the multiple times that you was violated, you never got healed from that. All the times that you was in school and got bullied and called ugly, you never was healed from that. You know what I'm saying? And this is why you're carrying on in life like this. This is why you seeing people and doing the things that you're doing and getting involved with these guys like that. This is why you're doing this. And when he showed me this, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And it's like, okay, where do I go from here? Because I can't keep going through this. I can't keep going through the same thing over and over. I'm tired. Like, I'm tired of disappointing myself. I'm tired of disappointing my mom. You know what I mean? And at the time, me and my mom wasn't getting along that well. Me and her had issues with each other. And it's because she didn't notice most of the stuff that I was going through, because I had stopped telling her stuff. And I'm following all this stuff in. And me and her just kind of like, bumping heads with each other. And, eventually y'all started revealing things about that, because I was holding the grudge against my mom for a very, very long time, and y'all delivered me from that. So now me and my mom, we like this, you know what I'm saying? We always had a relationship, but it was like very, very strained. My mom was a good mom, you know, as far as like taking care of me and my brother, and you know what I'm saying, like doing the best that she could with what she knew how to do at the time, even in her trauma, because she was traumatized too, just like I was. Even in her trauma, you know what I'm saying, even though her stuff was distorted too, the way that she saw life and viewed life and went about life, it was distorted too. But I knew at the end of the day, besides all of that, my mom loved me and wanted the best for me and my brother, and she would do anything to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my book is about. If you are praying for somebody that needs to be delivered, it could be for yourself. Because listen, honey, let me tell you something. I pray for myself. You know, I know people was praying about me, but I have to pray for myself, man. I have to really take the time to like, look, man, I know this is all this stuff. To me, it was fun. Me partying, doing all this stuff, this is fun. But I knew for sure I did not want to die and go to hell. I knew that for sure. And that was my prayer. And y'all started, you know, turning my life around. Now, I said, so again, I wrote the book when I was 28, and a lot has changed. Um, you know, a lot has changed. I learned a lot about the truth now and stuff like that. So therefore, I don't say Jesus anymore. I don't use the word. I don't say Jesus. So Jesus may be in here. I don't use Jesus. I don't say Christ. I say the Mashiach. Mashiach is the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? I don't say Jesus. I say Yeshua. You know, so that may be in there. Just a heads up, you know, if you guys want to get the book or whatever, that may be in there, but I don't say those words anymore. At the time, I didn't know about what I know now, you know what I'm saying? But it's the word of Yah in here, you know? It's the word of Yah for the prayers. And uh, yeah, I'm excited about what is to come. Like, this is a dream, and I've been wanting to. This has been a dream of mine to be an author and to be the person that I am today. This has always been a dream. I what's this, how can I say this? I never thought I would be the person I am today. Never thought I would be this person. Never thought I would be like, because right now I'm single. I'm a single woman, and I'm happy, man. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. It ain't got to do with no man. I'm just happy within myself. I love myself, you know, and I've come a long way, you know. So, um, yes, that's a brief little update. I mean, a brief little story, because one of my videos, the very first, the very first live I did on here got, I guess it got deleted or whatever. I don't know. So, and I always said that I was gonna redo do that video anyway, but this is the redo, and my book is here. So, I'm gonna find out more information about when it's gonna be on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. I don't know that just yet. Um, so my books literally just came today. So I'm gonna find out more about that, and I'm gonna keep everyone posted. And that's the whole reason why I got back onto social media, because I had got off social media. I had it years ago, and I had to take a high. I had to get off of it because my self esteem was so bad. It was that bad that it was affecting me mentally, that I had to get off social media. So I got off, and I just came back on. I just came back on September. So I only been on here for a few months, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I got back on here is because y'all um told me to get back on social media. I'm in a better space, in a better place. And then I needed to put myself out there, because you know I got a book coming out, and who gonna know about my book if I'm not putting myself out there, you know? So I got back onto social media to basically share the word of Yah. I'm not on here trying to meet nobody, trying to meet dudes, and I'm not. I'm on here to spread a message about Yah, and you know what I'm saying, tell the world my story. Do with it what you will. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I'm on here. You know, just to spread love. You know, and see you know some of my people's on here, like Germany. I haven't seen her in years. We kind of grew up together. We was kids, you know, and it's good to see some of the people that I haven't talked to in a long time and stuff like that. So I'm friends with them on here, but overall, I'm on social media to tell my story and to build, you know, kind of like build my brand or whatever, however you say it. I don't know, to build myself up on here. And again, my book. Oh my God, like, this is unbelievable. Like, this is like a dream come true, man. So I do plan on writing more books. As a matter of fact, I've already started one. I kind of stopped, but it's gonna be in very very uh I don't want to say graphic detail, but very detailed about my thoughts and everything when I was going through the things that I was going through. So I do plan on writing more books. I hate writing, but yes, thanks Germany. I do plan on writing more books. You know what I'm saying? Just what I'm learning and how I'm growing. I want to just help as many people as I can. Because we are living in the last days, whether people believe it or not. We are living in the last days, and I just want to help people to come to Yah and get their life right. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in, Raphael and Germany and whoever else just came on. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love and the support I get on here. I even appreciate the hate because I be getting hate on here, whether y'all believe it or not. People be coming for my necks. But hey, the truth is the truth. I'm gonna say the truth whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Even if I say it in love, I still get hate. So it is what it is. But you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Or rest of your evening, and I'm about to kick back and chill. I just wanted to hop on here and talk about my book, and I will be back on here to let everyone know, if they would like to purchase it, where they could purchase it, and stuff like that. If that's if you're interested. If not, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna talk about it. But yeah, Journey, good seeing you too. I'm so glad that we connected. Um, you can holler at me at any time, and thank you, Raphael, again. And you guys have a good evening. And I like to end with Matthew 22:14. For many are called, few are chosen. Be blessed.